Emergency services officials in Pietermaritzburg will today continue to search for the body of an 8-year-old girl. She drowned at the Peace Valley River on Thursday following heavy rains in the region. Recovery efforts have been unsuccessful due to high water levels in the river. The KwaZulu-Natal Cooperative Governance Department confirmed to the news, adding that details of the incident were still being probed. Heavy rain has since subsided, giving hope to the family and emergency services that the body will soon be recovered. Well, Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise joins us live now from Pietermaritzburg. Nobuhle, what's the latest from the ground?
Good morning, Ntokozo. We are at Peace Valley here in Pietermaritzburg, where that unfortunate incident happened, and the 8-year-old girl did drown in this river that you can see here, that my colleague Gift Nkosi is showing you. And the details that we have from the parents, I managed to speak to the mother as well as the father when we arrived here earlier, and they were telling me that they live on the other side of this river, just across where I am, and they basically were coming to this end where we are standing right now, and when they were crossing, the mother had her 2-month-old baby on her back, and she was then asked by a stranger that she can't even point out today whether she needed help, because she had her 2-month-old on her back and she had her 8-year-old in her hands. And this stranger then asked if she could help her cross the bridge, because there's a bridge just 100 meters from here where they did cross, where they were crossing when this unfortunate incident took place. And when he grabbed the 8-year-old's hand, unfortunately the hand slipped, and she then unfortunately disappeared into the water. So the mother is very distraught. When we were speaking to her earlier, she couldn't contain, her emotions. I was speaking to the councillor of the area, Dumisani Pungula, who also explained to me that she has been in tears since the incident on Thursday. And emergency officials did call off the search in Ntokozo on Friday, and they were meant to return today, but we found out that they said that they will be returning on Monday, and the reason for that was because the water levels were high. But we understand now that they've somewhat gone down. I'm also standing with that councillor, Dumisani Pungula, just for him to take us through what happened in detail. Thank you very much, Pungula. Just speak to us about what actually happened on Thursday.
Yeah, greetings. You have correctly narrated the story of what happened. Indeed, the mother of a missing child was crossing from Peace Valley 3, which is the other side of the river, to Peace Valley 2, which is where we are standing. And she was with her 2 children, one at her back, 2 months old daughter, and the other one, the one who is missing. That's when a stranger came and offered to assist the mother to assist her to cross the river. And during that exchange, that's when the child was, 8-year-old girl, was taken by the river.
Bapungula, just speak to us about whether this kind of thing has happened before in the area. We understand that on the day, the area wasn't necessarily flooded. It was the river which the water levels were rising due to the rain. Has this ever happened before?
This is the second incident. The first one took place, I think, in the last floods, which was in April last year, where 2 daughters of the same family were swept away by the same river at the same spot, which is a low-level bridge. So this is the second incident.
So speak to us about this bridge, Bapungula. You were telling me earlier about the bridge and the fact that it's low-lying, as you've explained now, and that there are homes just across here. And you said that they've invaded that land, unfortunately. So with that kind of situation, what is, provincial government then doing about, that bridge? Are there plans to extend it, make it higher, or what are the issues there?
I can only speak on what we are doing as councillors at the level of the local municipalities, at level of municipality. What we will be proposing, myself as the ward councillor, will be to upgrade this low-level bridge, because the reality is that people, even though they've invaded the land, but they now occupy that piece of land and they need something to cross the river. So obviously we'll have to plead with the municipality to upgrade this into a high-level bridge, because the issue of invading, yes, it's a challenge that we are confronted with, and we discourage people not to invade the land, because some of the challenges we are having now, it's because of people who are invading the land, which is illegal, and we discourage people to do that because they end up invading the land that is not suitable for people to stay in those areas, which is the case with where we are standing right now. This is the flood zone as an example. So, which is why we are discouraging people, and we are in the process again of profiling this area so that the human settlement can find an alternative space for these people who are in the floodplain.
And then Bapungula, lastly, just before I let you go, what was this bridge built for initially?
Initially, the bridge was built for technicians from Umgeni Water Board to service their pump stations, which is across the river. The bridge was not initially built for people to cross. It was built solely for the technicians from Umgeni Water to service their pump station, which is across the river.
All right, thank you very much. That was Dumisani Pungula, who is the ward councillor for this area, the Peace Valley area, where this unfortunate incident took place. And he touched on a number of issues outside of that drowning, speaking about the issue of land invasions across the river, where people are staying illegally, and the reasons why they would then need to cross over to this side is because most of the things that they need, like shops, like the mosque that the family attends, is right across here, and I understand that on the day she was coming this side because she was headed there. So there are issues of land invasion and just issues of whether that bridge that was there initially to service technicians who are servicing the pump stations across the bridge is now being used by people who have invaded the land. But nonetheless, the EMS services are saying that they will only be back once the water levels have gone down. And as I was speaking to Bapungula earlier, he explained that they might have to call them back because Monday is too far and the search still needs to go ahead for this little girl who is missing at this point.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Our reporter Nobuhle Modise out in Pietermaritzburg at the Peace Valley River, monitoring those search and rescue efforts currently underway.